Hey everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And for our patrons, this is part fucking 2.
Right. Because you're going to see that video. It's behind the scenes now. We already did the intro. And Amber forgot to mute her phone before we started recording. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to turn the volume down. Now I know that turns off the recording. It ends it. It doesn't even pause it. It just ends it.
So today we're going to be discussing and probably just fangirling a little bit about Coven, American Horror Story.
Absolutely.
Coven. I love... Okay, I think everybody who watches American Horror Story can agree, for the most part, I shouldn't speak for everyone, that Coven is probably one of the best if not
seasons.
The best season. I mean,
except for the people that like absolutely hate it, right? Because sometimes I see like when people are like, "What's your favorite?" Because love, yes, right. Exactly. What's your favorite American Horror Story? Everybody's gonna say Coven, so I won't.
Like Roanoke.
It's a good one.
I do like Roanoke.
I like Roanoke. I love that story, but.
It's the better, but I would say probably the weaker one. I can't get into 1984.
I love 1984, but like that is like my jam though, because like I watched all those horror movies.
And they're
doing the music,
the dancing. Oh my god, I want to go
dancing with myself.
Dude, I want to go to one of those workout fucking things so bad. It's
my mom and I do that in the living room.
But I gotta wear the outfits. Like you gotta wear.
I could wear the outfits. I could buy some like bright colored like warmers, 100%.
Oh, it's on my bucket.
I feel like Coven has like some of the best characters. That and Hotel, like
I think Hotel. My husband did not want to watch Hotel with me because of the first episode with the spike. That guy stays in the hotel and there's the demon with the. So we got that far, and he was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. But eventually
he felt violated.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
I mean, I felt violated.
Yeah,
myself.
Same. I was like, please stop this.
But, so they went hard. No with that. But then Hotel became like my second favorite. Or third favorite, because Coven and Apocalypse to me are my favorites. But Hotel turned... And Gaga did pretty good.
Obviously, Coven is my favorite. If I had a second favorite, I really think it would be 1984.
You think so? Okay, so I haven't finished
like, that is my jam.
I've gotten to, like, 3 episodes left.
Okay, but, like, I've seen all of the Friday the 13th movies. Right. I've seen all of the Halloween movies. I've seen all of the 1980s, like, Sleepaway Camp and this, that, and the other. So, like... That season, like, I wasn't watching American Horror Story anymore, but Rosalind, my oldest daughter, she watched 1984. She hates American Horror Story, and she's like, "Mom, you should totally watch." And so I started watching it.
Is the camp kind of like Hotel and Murder House in a sense when you die there?
Yep, you stay there. Yeah.
What are they going to do with that? Because it's been building up, and I'm very excited to see, because you've got Murder House, you die there, you stay there. Roanoke was the same way, right?
Yeah, you die there, you stay there.
You die there, you stay
there. At least in the woods area.
How are these fucking connected?
Well,
they're all like portals to hell.
Right, yeah. That's it's mentioned they're all portals to hell. I wonder how it all plays out in the end. I know at the end of 1984, it's some like, I don't know, like they start having like music fests there, and like eventually the ghosts are like, no, fuck this, we're not playing by these rules anymore, and start just like killing people. It's pretty good. I really do like 1984. But Coven, I really think like character wise, some of the characters don't have very good character development, but I think as a whole Coven has really good development throughout. You know what I mean? As far as that season goes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Plus, like, there's so many fun little side characters, like the Iceman from Axeman. The Axeman.
Okay, you said the Iceman.
I did. What? I was like, literally, I just had looked at,
Yeah, we talked about the Axeman. The Axeman. Which is based on inspired by a true person who was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill people if you don't play jazz in
music,
New Orleans. Right? But just imagine, like I said,
like walking down the French Quarter and there's jazz music in the air. Yes, like the air is heavy with it.
Not to romanticize a town being like
it's terrorized. Yeah, like no, that's not cool at all.
But at the same time,
jazz music.
If I was a vampire, and hey, it's New Orleans, bitch.
Right?
Like,
yeah, no, fair enough.
Like, and I was walking down the streets and I wasn't worried about an axe murderer, I'd be like, this is nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I won't lie. If I was in New Orleans, I would be them bitches, like the witches, playing opera music. Like, because I love me some jazz. Okay, well, you know what? Unfortunately, that would still be me, because you don't tell me what to do, damn it. I might love jazz music, but I love opera too, and if you're going to tell me that you're going to come at me if I don't do what you say, well,
that was actually
that's
really
my undoing.
Scene, right?
Yeah.
Because then they were nurses, right?
I'm not on the real life end.
No. I mean, just in the movie, the scene itself.
In Witches Talking, Witches Talking Tarot. In Coven, the witches where they do.
Yeah, they
kill him.
No, what are you talking about? Okay, so I'm talking.
Man.
Well, then who was the guy that broke into the? Oh, am I talking about Murder House? Okay, tell me. He made the girl dress up as a nurse. And he hogtied her.
Yes, you're thinking about Murder House.
Is that Murder House?
Yes, and that's based off of, oh my God, Richard Speck.
So that was a real true story.
Yeah, too. Richard Speck, that was real.
Because he hogtied her and that
he killed like an entire house full of nurses and he'd be like, he'd tie up 3 of them and then he'd take one out of the room and he'd take her off and the other 2 would hear and most of them were too afraid to do something. One girl like got under a bed and like out of his sight, whatever. I feel like there was like 1, maybe 2 survivors, but that was Richard Speck and that was a real serial killer and yes, that was Murder House. I was very confused.
Okay, no.
Yeah, the axe man, he killed people with an axe.
Yes.
And he was a saxophone player, which is also referred to as an axe.
The jazz, okay.
Yeah. So that's why he was the axe man, right?
So he
swung his axe, and he was going to kill them, and like the one witch, she's by herself, and I feel like she's using a Ouija board.
Yes.
And she's like talking shit to him essentially, and he's like, "Fuck you, you little bitch." I don't know. He doesn't say that, but that's his attitude. Is "fuck you, you little bitch," and he's about to like swing the axe on her. And then all the other witch sisters come out, and they're all like
stabbing him, and they stab him.
Yeah, and they stab him to death. Yes,
love it.
And then he's trapped in that house
forever.
Well, not forever because then fucking Zoe's bitch ass comes along. Can't stand Zoe. Let's talk about Zoe for a second. I don't like her. She has no fucking character arc. Her character arc is, I want to fuck a guy that I knew for 5 minutes before Madison killed him, and I brought him back to life as a, like, put together, Mr. Potato Head.
Her power really sucks. I feel bad for her.
I do feel bad for her. Her power makes me think of the movie Teeth. Have you ever seen the movie Teeth?
I know what you're referring
to. With Vagina
I want
Dentata.
To see it, but it reminds me of more X-Men, that one lady who can't kiss her or touch her. Yes.
Yeah. But see, Zoe can totally kiss. It's just like in the act of sex, there's so much power going on between her legs, right? And in Teeth, if that bitch like is uncomfortable at all during sex, the teeth just go whonk. Corey does not like that movie.
Bryson won't watch it with me, and I'm scared to watch it by myself. But Netflix has a bunch of body horror movies I do want to watch, but body horror scares me. And I think that's classified as body horror. Like, it's in that same category.
That's good. You don't see anything. It's just that her vagina protects her from rapists.
It reminds me of, like, the scene in... This is so dumb. Okay, I don't
Sorry, guys. Not trying to make you uncomfortable, but Teeth is a good movie, and
it reminds me of Piranha. If you guys have watched Piranha, you know what I'm talking about. Piranha swims up this girl's
vagina,
and this guy has sex with her, and she doesn't know what's in there, and it eats his dick off, and then swims out of her vagina, or he pulls out, and it's still attached to her, or it's still attached to his dick. How does that happen? I don't think it would happen in real life.
I feel like that is based on, there is a fish that is attracted to ammonia in urine, and it will swim up your pee hole, and then put prongs out.
Oh my
God. That thing terrifies me. Like, we talked about fresh water in the water episode. Check out last week's episodes. We talked about water, and I said I don't so much like fresh water. It's things like that. I'm not a fan of fresh water because of those kinds of things.
For
it scares me.
It's brain-eating amoebas because unfortunately we've destroyed the fucking... I mean,
God
before,
damn.
like, growing up, if you get a little water in your mouth, there's no problem.
Yeah.
Well, now you can get meningococcus.
Yeah, no.
You know, or
sounds-
bacterial meningitis. No, it's a real thing.
I know, but you put the word cocoa in there by accident.
Oh, is that not what it's called? Meningococcal meningitis?
Meningococcal.
Oh my god, I've been saying it wrong since I was a kid.
I was just like meningococco.
I've been saying it wrong this
That's
whole
the only
fucking
reason
time.
I laughed. I'm
No,
sorry.
you guys don't understand. I've been saying it like that for the past 7 years.
Like, there's other things that you could be doing wrong for a while that are way
My
worse.
sister says it the same way.
Don't correct her. Just no, I'm just kidding.
But meningitis is very real.
Yeah, no, we're not joking about meningitis. I just pictured like cocoa along with meningitis, and it was a funny image.
I got it
Amber's
from the
weird.
commercial.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, we live
Anyway,
in an area where there's a lot of runoff.
Totally stuff. Yeah, there's
runoff.
stuff.
Yeah,
There's
oh,
stuff.
yeah. Oh,
There's
yeah.
like a lot of stuff. Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of dirty water, can we just talk about Misty Day?
Oh,
And, like,
bless that girl.
the
She is my
swamp witch,
favorite.
the swamp witch.
I want, like, she is my spirit animal. Like, I love her so
I
much.
love Lily. Is it Rabe?
Yes,
I
Lily
love
Rabe.
Lily
I
Rabe.
do love her.
I love
her in all of her characters.
Me too.
Whereas, like, I hate Zoe's characters. All of them. I've always... She's always a whiny, moany
She's
bitch.
really shitty in Murder House, granted.
She
She's
is.
like
I mean,
15.
Yeah,
but
she's
still.
supposed to be shitty.
Like,
Violet.
she's like, I hate my life. It's like,
Jesus
oh God,
Christ. Shut the fuck
up.
up. Yeah, anyway,
Check out
like...
our past episode about spiritual journeys.
Sorry, it's just like Emma Roberts and that girl.
I will say Violet, that girl, has so much more chemistry with
yes.
you know.
Than they do with it. And I want to say, wouldn't Murder House would be pre Emma Roberts and what's his face getting together,
right?
And then Coven would be
after.
post, right? So like, I bet it was weird.
I bet it was weird,
especially
but then
when they had to
the
share
threesome,
him.
Yeah,
that was fucking weird.
Well, but
not to take it off Misty Day. I was just saying I love her, whereas I hate the others.
Their chemistry on camera is just non-existent. That
it's not. And
good.
Is it because he's supposed to be dead? So of course, like there wouldn't be chemistry from a dead
they're
guy.
also together or whatever in Freak Show, which I believe you haven't finished.
Sorry, I can't.
In a non-offensive way.
No, it's the episodes. It's not any people who identify that way. It's they killed the chicken boy.
Oh my God!
Can't do it. Let's move on. Anyway, they're together in Freak Show.
Did eat?
No, shut up.
But
no, I don't care. Me, no.
No, I know.
I couldn't watch it.
It really
and the clown when he blew his fucking mouth off.
I couldn't do that part. Freak Show was one I had to push through, but I have to say
I won't do it. I won't.
I had to push through it. It's probably one of my favorite.
The only reason I keep watching them is because I said fuck it to Freak Show.
You know, I have to say, like, going into it, I was hesitant because I do get freaked out by circuses and that type of environment. By the end of the episode, though, I was like, they may be freaks, but they're people. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
it's all
totally
about
they are,
humanity.
but to me, like, I don't even, it's just the things that happen because...
Oh my God.
I can't talk about Freak Show.
We'll go back to Misty Day, but please, I just have to take, like, there's this one girl who falls in love with a freak. He's the seal boy, which means he was probably born...
Right, we're just fused.
Yeah. Well, it was a birth defect when people took
those pills.
Yeah,
stuff, right?
So maybe he was born with that. That's what I'm assuming, because that's around that time era. Mm-hmm. Her dad found out she was in love with him. And so he drugged her and tattooed her entire body to make her look like a cat person. And he was like, you're in love with the freak. Well, now you're a freak too. Wow. And then she joined the Freak Show.
Wow. He just gave her a career. Go Daddy.
Yeah, fuck you.
Go Daddy.
I'd be really upset too. But like, man, no, it was really fucked up.
No, I'm kidding though. That guy sucks. It was a good joke and a good GoDaddy reference.
And Misty Day though, I think she's the one that I connect the most. Her and Cordelia, because Cordelia works with the plants,
yeah,
and the herbs. But Misty Day, like with her loving nature. I think one of my favorite scenes is when the people are killing the
gators. And she brings them fucking back.
She's like, why are you killing them? Well, we're going to turn them into shoes.
I am Misty Day. My toxic trait is that I think the gators would understand I love them. They would fucking not bug me.
I feel like I just watched a scary video about gators.
I love gators. I don't know if you saw me wave to Wally when we came in.
No, I did not.
Yeah. I was like, we were talking, so I wasn't going to be rude, but I was like, hey, buddy.
I do love her
I love
character.
that gator so much. He's so cute.
She was also burned at the stake. There are witch hunts.
I know.
That's not
it's
fake.
Terrifying. I won't lie. Like, it disturbs me on a visceral level that people could still, to this day, be so ignorant or so wrapped up in the words of a book from 2,000 years ago that they would take another person's life. Let alone, like, okay, it's awful that you would shun them.
And look, that's
but the fact that you would end an existence because your beliefs differ is despicable.
Well, and I want to say that about all...
It shakes me.
Abrahamic religions. Because
any,
you know,
not just Abrahamic.
No, but like
all
specifically those were Christians. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, they absolutely were.
But I agree.
They were Bible thumpers. But I mean, in Africa, like, I read articles, and this is why I don't like to read the news, because there are a lot of articles that you can come across where there's somebody in Africa
witch hunts
who's been accused as being a witch, and either they like draw and quarter them, or they like stone them to death,
or they'll kill them out in the streets.
Yeah,
they do.
I can't fathom doing that anyway, but I especially can't fathom it in this day and age.
I know.
I don't care what country with whatever lack of technology you may have. It's 2022, and you and I don't believe the same, but neither of us has a right to kill the other outright.
Right. And me and Amber live in the middle of the Bible Belt, and discrimination itself is just horrible. I mean, granted, it's not like people are killing people, but I mean...
I got offered a Bible the other day. I proudly wear my pentacle.
I was wearing my pinnacle at work when I worked at Brahms, and someone fucking mentioned it. Like, I mean, I just got fucked. I mean, it was just implied I work with demons.
Like, yeah, no,
you know,
I know. Like, Corey's like, they had a whole stack back there, but this bitch looked directly at me.
Oh my God!
She handed it.
This old ass bitch, I swear to God this happened, you guys. Some old lady stops me and my husband in the middle of the I swear someone knows her and, like, put her up to this. Why would they... The only reason why I can think she stopped my husband, because we were together. Sir, do you go to church? You should. You should get to know God. You should get to... Okay, I'm right here, first of all. Why are you ignoring me? Is it because I'm wearing my pinnacle? Is that why? You're addressing him because he's not wearing a pinnacle?
I'm changing vets because my vet treats me crappy because of my pinnacle.
Wow.
She's not rude to my husband or my kids, but she's not particularly nice to me.
Oh, it's
like, she's got church signs all over the office. And I took my animals there for years, but I could not face her the day that Shelby passed away. And so we took Shelby to a vet we'd never been to because I was like, I cannot deal with that woman on this day.
Right.
And the fact that I felt that way, I was like, I don't want to have to take my pets there anymore at all. You know what I mean? Because, like, eventually...
Your spirituality
is going to happen again.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Eventually, I'm going to have another pet pass away, unfortunately, and I don't want to have to do that again. You know, I'd rather be with a vet that is compassionate and caring.
Right.
You know?
And so I guess that's really like...
And doesn't discriminate based on religion, just because our religions aren't the same. I don't discriminate against you.
Oh, it's crazy.
Based on your religion. Now, if you say the you spew the hateful shit that is a stereotype of your religion, now maybe we have problems. But I don't just be like, oh, these people are Christian, so automatically we ain't cool.
Or, you know, like some random ass motherfucker with a sign like, you're going to hell.
Oh my God. You know how much I want to roll my window down and, like, tell them that the goddess blesses them and shit?
Oh my God, somebody had a fucking bumper sticker. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're
Somebody had a bumper sticker was in front of me at the McDonald's.
At the McDonald's. I was at the Walmart yesterday to my mom. And I say
that.
Who are you?
Maybe that's where you get that because I do say the Walmart.
Because I did, and I was like, who am I? Who did I become?
But really, at the McDonald's, they're in front of me, and their sign says, "It's Father God, not Mother Earth." That's what their bumper sticker says.
I'm sorry, do we live up there? No, we live down here, motherfucker.
Like, it was, and I think discrimination against witches is addressed in Coven. Because
so
at the
much.
end of Coven, they finally have the fucking strength
to come out. And he refers to them as a cult, and she's like, whoa, buddy, ain't no fucking cults around here. Maybe there are, but not here, because we're going to get to Miss Cordelia later.
I will say, like, there's a lot of fictionalization in Coven, obviously.
Yeah.
Witches don't really burn other witches that betray the Coven. Well, I mean, traditionally, in the past, I think
you just got excommunicated.
Yeah, I will.
Cut off.
It was definitely...
And back then it was, I mean, essentially, let us be clear... Back in the past, anytime you got cut off from your community, it was kind of a death sentence.
Right, because you had no food. You had no, well, and also you're at the mercy of these other people because what if they're like, oh, she's a witch?
Right, exactly. We're going to burn her hut. So even if you're resourceful enough to become that witch of the wood or the Baba Yaga that I will one day be, living on my chicken leg hut. I can't wait. Sorry.
No, I know. I feel the same way.
Like, even if they can, like, self-sufficiently get to that point, there's always the risk of the villagers nearby discovering you, having a problem with you. Or discovering you, using your magic, and then having a problem with you, as probably happened more often than we think.
I do, or you don't give them what they want. Like, that is something that happens. Again, magically. In Coven, it happens. In real life, it happens. You know, for them, it was more Mary Laveau, like people showing up for her, like, hey, I got this for you. Can you give me this? That really happens. At least for me, since I'm a tarot reader, it's mostly people you would never expect, never in a million fucking years expect come to you like, hey, can I get a tarot reading?
Right, yeah, no,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, sure. But can this just be between you and I? Sure. I mean, I'm gonna keep the confidence.
You know, that's your client.
It's my client, but I see you making them Facebook posts.
Right.
I see you sitting there talking about how it's all the devil. But I be who you see. I be who you come in for.
Right, yeah.
You know, hey, do you have a spell jar? I can do this. Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I should charge you extra. Just
for the bias.
Right. But yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm. And it really does happen.
No, it really does. And I think they do a good job of kind of bringing certain things to light in Coven like that. Or even like the fact that witch hunters really do still exist.
Oh my God.
They do. I have had more than one individual on Facebook be like, hey, let's be friends. And then like either their profile says one thing when you accept their friend request and it changes later.
Oh, yeah.
Or when you look into it because you haven't accepted their friend request and, like, it's all, like, you know, witches need to be whatever those Bible verses that I fucking don't know and will not repeat are because I don't fucking know them because I don't respect it enough to take the time to learn it. Not even gonna lie. Because I'm sorry, if your 2,000-year-old book has kind of, like, hateful language in it, maybe just fucking pass over that shit and get to the loving shit. Sorry, not sorry, but like your book is from 2,000 fucking years ago anyway. So maybe don't base your life around that shit when you're picking and choosing what you're gonna live by and what you're not gonna live by, because a lot of it contradicts itself. Because I think there are passages in the Bible where people in the Bible go to see a witch, but then there's also thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Oh my God, you know? My own great aunt told me that one.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. I mean, I grew up knowing that Bible passage, so whereas I tried to think that I didn't know it, as I was saying, like, I don't respect it enough to know it, I was like, oh, that's what the fuck it is. Okay.
Well, and it's also inner...
But there's also stuff where they work with witches.
Interfaith marriages as well. If you're not, if you do not come from the same yoke, your marriage is not holy.
Well, and the thing is, like... Again, that's based on a 2,000-year-old book, and back then, tribes, and they had to, just like you, jacking off's not okay, being gay's not okay, oral sex isn't okay, anal sex isn't okay, and because none of that shit results in a baby. But they were doing it anyway. They were doing it anyway, but it was against the law in the Bible, not because they're against homosexuality, not because they're against you getting it off. they're against you not producing more. That's the whole point, is if you're jerking off, you're not having sex with a woman and impregnating her. If you're getting a blowjob, you're not impregnating her.
Right.
You need to impregnate her so that you have more kids.
I really did.
Well, that's funny because I was listening to the I Hate It, Let's Watch It episode on false positive, which is about... Is the SVU episode you're about to talk about a doctor that's like inseminating all these women with his own sperm?
No, but that is an episode.
That is an episode,
and
that's what
it,
this
John
movie
Stamos.
was.
Do you remember the episode now? Like, he had like 24 kids. He's like, I love you all.
Damn you, John Stamos. Yeah.
Yeah, and
this is Pierce Brosnan is in False Positive, and I'm just like... But he was hot.
It sounds like it would be on Lifetime. I would watch the shit out of it.
I think one of them said it seems like it should be a Lifetime movie, but it's too well written.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. And they were like, this movie really tried. It's a good episode. I enjoyed there.
No, it was...
I might watch the movie. It was a good episode. I might not, because they covered all the confusing shit, so I don't know.
Well, living in the South and the Midwest... and lower. So like the South, the Midwest, you got the Bible Belt, and then lower. I think, I don't know, because I haven't been anywhere but here, but I think I would like to believe that people are more open-minded in different areas. You know, like, or maybe there's more open-minded people, it seems like there's less. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because I haven't been anywhere. But
okay, so I come from this world where... nobody gives a fuck what your religion is. And my world is wrong there, right? So it's like, I don't even have a real grasp on that. I choose to believe that nobody gives a fuck that I'm pagan, just like I don't care if you're Jewish or if you're Christian or if you're Muslim. Like, I don't care if you're a Satanist, honestly, as long as you're not like the Satanist from Apocalypse who's like, let's murder people. But you're like the normal, like, real life Satanist.
I cheated on my wife. Come on, that's not a real sin.
Right? Exactly. Like to my understanding, real Satanism is just like, I don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with me kind of attitude, and like live and let live. And it's really like a healthy religion, but they have like that, you know.
Truth be told, I have done absolutely no research. I have absolutely no idea. So it's not something that I can really like...
I have, and this is my understanding, but I'm not a practitioner, so if you are a Satanist and I've misunderstood, please do correct me.
Well, I
always want to know
one or two.
Yeah, we do.
People. Yeah, right. They're good people.
Yeah, they are.
But as for like the belief system, I have no idea. It's definitely not common around here. That's
definitely.
Sure.
I mean, it seems like one of those religions that people use for shock value. And I am not trying to talk shit on Satanists or Satanism. See, I get that. But at the same time, like when you say I'm a Satanist, people picture the same shit out of Apocalypse, right? Where that the heart being removed from the chest and shit, you know?
Kalima, which is not Satanism, that's Hinduism, but still.
God, I love Indy. Love Indiana Jones. Sorry. You said Kali Ma, and like the scene just started playing in my head, and I'm like, don't start chanting it.
I know. I was going to do the same thing. But
and like, Crocs. Not Gators, but Crocs.
Right. Apocalypse is the sequel to Coven.
Yeah. My mom and I watched Coven and Apocalypse back to back because she's not an American Horror Story watcher, so I thought it would be fun to, you know, do one then the other.
I love Apocalypse. I can't lie. You know, Violet... Her name's not Violet. Zoe, she did not have a big role in Apocalypse.
She did not.
She was more in the background.
Right, but I also feel like that's because she had no fucking character arc in Coven.
I had no idea that one bitch was fucking Carrie Fisher's daughter. Did you know that?
Which one, bitch?
The Supreme in Apocalypse. The Rising Supreme.
Oh. Oh.
I had no idea. And then they put them side by side, and I was like, oh, they look so much alike. You wouldn't think until you saw them together.
What is her name? Anyway, what is her name?
I can look it up.
I don't remember.
I want to make sure I'm not wrong now before we air. I'm like, hold on. But
I don't know. Like, I definitely like Coven better than Apocalypse.
You do?
I do. I don't know. I won't lie. I love all the bringing people back from the dead that happens in Coven with Misty Day and her magical Mississippi swamp mud. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do love that. Yeah, her name's Billy Lord. Or Lord. Or is it pronounced Lord? I don't know. That is her daughter, though. I'll show you a picture.
But all I can think of is Zoe's name now. Like, I cannot pick... Like, Coco is the one that is her friend. Yeah.
Yes.
But I can't remember her character's name all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue. I can't remember it either. But, you know...
TV royalty.
Right? Like, with Coven taking place in the South, a lot of witchcraft is just embedded. Witchcraft is embedded in the South. I love that they chose New Orleans for it. I suppose they could have chosen Salem if they wanted. You know what I mean? But
I think they would have had to deal with too much like, they would have had to put too much of the Salem witch trials into it. I like having the dichotomy of the voodoo witches and the other witches in the New Orleans cast, because like, I love me some New Orleans. Like, I love the environment.
It's a magical fucking city. I mean,
it is like walking around the French Quarter. Like you talked about walking around the French Quarter, just like the air heavy with jazz and jasmine and the Axeman's walking around.
Like immigrants came in through New Orleans, right? So you've got European magic, but then you've also got the magic with the hoodoo and the voodoo as well. So I think it was a good way to mix those in together. Oh, absolutely. Because that's literally what New Orleans was just this giant melting pot.
There's like a lot of voodoo shops that are like famous down there. Like even when I was a teenager,
Lavelle's shop is still
even when I was a teenager, I wanted the balls to go into the New Orleans voodoo shop.
Who's that lady that plays Mary Laveau? She's fucking good.
She's a badass motherfucker.
She's badass. She plays in a lot of shit. First of
Angela Bassett.
Oh my god,
love her.
She is that role. I mean, she just
took
that role and fucking ran with it.
Oh, absolutely. She is the voodoo queen.
Oh, she absolutely is. Yes.
I mean, I am. The one thing I don't like about Marie Laveau's character, whether it's my business to like or not, I do hate the deal she made with Papa Legba. I know she made it unknowingly, but when you make a deal with the devil, my dear, like. Yeah, you thought it was going to be sexual favors. Yeah, that's what you thought. That's like why genies get you. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
check out our last episode.
Right. Seriously, literally.
Don't fuck with demons.
Oh,
like,
God,
it's like genies, demons, leprechauns.
Oh my God,
wishes will be used against you.
Because she was innocent.
He's like, innocent. She like causing more trouble than anybody.
Right.
And like, she will not leave his side. She's like, oh, I have fun with Papa.
She was funny. She was funny because she's like, yeah, I want to have sex with the neighbor. And they're like, bro, what?
I know. And like, the neighbor's such a sweet guy and he sees her for who she is as a sweet person.
Right.
I love how she like calls his mom out by reading his mind, and she's like, he's not very happy that you murdered his daddy.
I know. I love her.
Where the fuck was the hospital staff after they took his breathing tube out, and he comes and he's like crying and he's like, you murdered Dad, and she's just like, shh, smother your dad.
I know.
Where the fuck is the hospital staff?
Fucking enema with like, what was it?
Bleach or something. Oh my God. My mom made me rewind it because she's like, what was that? I was like, I don't want to know.
No, I
don't want to see it again.
Like, rewind it.
Yeah, she's like, what was that? I think it was bleach. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, God.
No, it's like she mixed up Ajax. It wasn't just bleach. It was like what you clean your tub with. She like, it was either Comet or Ajax, and then she put hot water. How did that not burn his ass open?
I just don't
How does he not shit blood?
Why would you want to do that? I mean,
to clean him because she's psycho.
Okay, bitch.
That's like snake handling churches. Sorry, not trying to offend anybody, but y'all scare me.
Oh my God.
I will touch an alligator, but I ain't going to a snake handling church. Fuck that bullshit.
Now it's on my bucket list. Now I'm like, I gotta stand in the back while they're doing the song, beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes, or whatever the fuck it is they're doing. Like, I just want to see it.
Like, sorry, what song do they sing again?
I have no idea, but like
that caught me off guard so bad.
But
greens.
Like, I just want to see it. I just want to see if someone really would do that. But then I guess I shouldn't, because if I'm over there, they're like, "Are you a witch?"
Right? Like, are they gonna throw you in the snake pit?
Like Ragnar Lothbrok?
Like, yeah, like, how brave are you gonna be? You gonna wear your pentacle in there?
No, I don't know.
Moon?
I'm just gonna stare. I don't know.
I couldn't go in a snake camp. That is too much. Have you ever smelled a lot of snakes?
Mm-mm.
I can't do it. There's that smell. There's too. They have like a musky smell, and when you have a lot of them together, it's a real...
My uncle said it smells almost like cucumbers. Like, it's like a watery, like...
Wow.
Weird smell. At least copperheads. That's what he told me.
I don't know about a specific amount of copperheads. I just know anytime I'm around a lot of snakes, it's this musky snake smell. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but I definitely don't want to be in a fucking church full of it where they think the snake won't bite you if you're holy, and they don't think I'm holy. Whether I think I'm holy or not does not prevent one of them from throwing a fucking snake at me.
No, it's scary. But I just want to see it. I just want to, like, maybe I look through the window. But then I'm like, is that even worse? Because they see the witch looking through the window. They're like, oh, come on in! No, they're burn her! Like, chase
At first, they're like, come on in, join us. And you're like, no, I'm good. Burn the witch! Which is awful, by the way. Like, I don't like seeing it so much in Coven and Apocalypse when they burn the witch.
I do love that redheaded witch.
She is
so dramatic, but she's so fashionable at the same time.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, please.
Mildred and I, we are.
Is that her name?
Yeah, Mildred.
She's
Myrtle. I'm sorry, Myrtle. I knew it was an M.
Please let this be a hallucination brought on by my fucking bouquet of belladonna.
Yes, I know. Like witch goals.
I know. Literally.
Yeah, I love that
she is amazing. I love her. Like, and just the drama. She's like, just imagine the real witches they're like in like some shitty thing, like coming to New Orleans, and she's like, without even a shanty. Like, you know what I mean? And she just like goes on, and I love it. I do.
I love her, but like, okay, so the second time she's burned at the stake. Mm-hmm. How come right?
Yeah, I love that.
I would have assumed that she was setting herself on fire. How come Cordelia still had to do it? Like, wasn't that the whole point? Like, weren't you igniting yourself? No, at the end of Coven, when she tells Cordelia, once Cordelia becomes the Supreme, where she's like, you gotta kill me. I grievously harmed 2 witches. Like, you have to kill me. And they burned her again, and that time she was in red, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when she did the scream that you just said, which Feliciano, is that what she said?
Balenciaga, which is a brand of clothing like Versace or Gucci.
I so thought she was saying like a Latin word for like ignite.
Oh no, it's a brand name.
That is so much bullshit. I hate that so much.
Because she's so fashionable, right?
Yeah, I get it, but it would have been way cooler if she was igniting herself and then she went up in flames. Like,
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. I guess we both forgot to mute our
same thing.
It's Friday. Anything flies on Friday. But like, I seriously, this makes a lot more sense, and I dislike it a whole lot more now. Because I really thought like she was trying to set herself on fire, go out with a big bang, and then I'm like, why does Cordelia have to do it anyway? Now I get it, and I don't like it. I do love Myrtle, like when she gives Cordelia her sight back.
Oh my god! First of all, beautiful eyes.
Oh my god! I love the 2 different colors.
It does suck.
And she's like, I had this Persian cat. Bitch, you made me like your cat.
Well, like, I like that little guy.
I love him.
He's so great. Actor. In Roanoke, he plays the medium, which is kind of like a play on that little woman who plays.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, but in previous incarnations of him as character roles, he does little medium type things, like the little lady from Poltergeist.
Yeah, from Poltergeist.
So like for me, it was a throwback to his old roles, but I like thinking of it in that way.
That's how I took it. It was kind of like a play on that, because I do like that little old lady.
But I think he does act like her, doesn't he? Yeah, so that's why I think it's like a dual thing.
But I do love him. Like, medium goals, except for the, dead part.
Yeah. That won't happen to us. No. We'll find that fountain of youth.
Right. We got to do that episode.
Yeah.
Which I think would pair really well with a pirate episode.
Oh, that would be fun.
That
would be fun. I like that. I'm down. Water. It is summertime, so like it makes sense.
Hot.
Like we did water and sex last week. Now we're doing Coven and the Moon. So
yes,
very witchy, and then we can do water again. I like this.
I do like that. I cannot lie, and I'm excited for Pirates episode.
Oh yeah. But
with Coven, you know, I really like the way that they take certain roles. You know, you've got good witches, you've got bad witches, and
you've got some that are somewhere in the between.
Oh, right.
Like Queenie. She's got a lot of character development throughout the whole series.
I want to like her. I want to like her.
Season, that's the word.
You know, but I feel like she's a really whiny character. You know?
I feel like, okay, so like the way my mom put it, and she's spot on with it, she was like, loyalties are very fluid on this show. And I was like, yes, they are. Because like Queenie's friends with Madame LaLaurie, and then she sells her out to Marie Laveau. Granted, it's based on Madame LaLaurie's own answer to a question, which was the determining factor. And I don't find fault with Queenie at all. But it's just the way that it was such a betrayal, you know what I mean? Then she has remorse over it, and then, you know, then she's shitty to Cordelia and she's shitty to Fiona, and it's like all this exactly. And it's like all this back and forth. I do like I prefer her character to Zoe. Zoe is just a piece of whiny shit who wants to fight with Madison. She wants to fuck Kyle and fight Madison. That's all Zoe wants to do. I hate Madison. Fuck Madison. Emma Roberts.
We have a vendetta against you, I guess.
God, you play the kind of bitch I want to slap. Like, all I can say is, kudos to you, ma'am. If you're not like that in real life, you play it real well.
Well, and I have to say...
But I feel like she must be like that in real life, because she is totally typecast.
Okay.
I mean, she's that in every role I've ever seen her, including Scream Queens, which is a really good show.
Well, because she's such a bitch.
She's such a bitch. Her aunt is the sweetest lady ever. Julia, I love you. Serious big girl crush on Julia Roberts. Fiona, good. I love how they are good. I do like Fiona and Cordelia being descended of the good family. You know, because they are descended of Salem witches. They just relocated down to
right. When the Salem trials started happening, because they were like, we got to get out of here. So like my thing is, I love Fiona. I do. I love her because she's a flawed character.
I love her because she is unashamedly the piece of shit she is. She realizes that she's shitty. She knows it. And it's just like she says to Cordelia in the end. She's like, baby, I always loved you. You just expected a different kind of love from me than I could give. But I have always loved you, and I still do. And like, I get that.
I wish she was brought back in Apocalypse.
I do too. Me too. Thank you. I felt like it was shitty, but then I go like, does Jessica Lange have something going on that couldn't come back for?
Yes, she's done with American Horror Story, unless they do, I think, the Coven thing, or I don't know, which is very upsetting. But you know, the truth is, with American Horror Story, every season she's in, do you realize her plot line is, I'm getting old and I'm really upset about it. And
that would be hard to play over and over again, especially when you were known as I mean, I watched Jessica Lange as fucking I loved her in King Kong. She was Patsy Cline with Ed Harris beating the shit out of her. Yes. Loved her as in the biographical movie about Patsy Cline. I don't know what it's called, but she's Patsy Cline, and Ed Harris plays the husband, and he's like abusive and shit.
Well, my thought process was coal miner's daughter, but that's Loretta Lynn. But you know, she, you know. You got Asylum, where she's the old nun, and she just wants to be young and she wants to be young, and then Coven, she's trying to stay young.
Yeah, well, and in Murder House, she's trying to act like she's still young.
Right. Well, in Freak Show, it's all about her wanting to.
I really don't know. You're gonna have to go there.
she wants to be like a celebrity, because the TV is a thing now. So she wants to be on the TV. No one wants to hire her because she's too old. So she hates, you know, and it's just like this.
That's rough though, because she is a beautiful aged woman.
I think so.
Jessica Lange, be on our show.
Sponsor us.
Dude, just guest star. But you gotta come sit in my garage studio. You gotta sit in here with us. We'll get you a nice chair.
Or you can get us a real nice studio.
Yeah, we'll go to your hotel room. Yeah, that's cool. Like, we'll sit around the hot tub or something. I don't care. Jessica Lange, be a guest on our show.
Right.
Be our guest. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Like Stevie Nicks and Jessica Lange, I would be like, please talk to us. Like, if you don't sponsor us, I get it. But talk to us. Just talk to us because we love you. I love Stevie Nicks' like Misty Day when Stevie Nicks shows up for the first cameo. The White Witch.
I know.
I grew up listening to this bitch sing like, you know, like 5 years old in my mama's car listening to Fleetwood Mac. Like, I freaking love Stevie Nicks, that girl.
Oh my gosh, and then you have, oh shit, what was I going to say? It had to do with Stevie Nicks, but it was, the Seven Wonders.
I know, I love the Seven Wonders.
Thing. Like, can we talk about how they're a real thing, but they're not?
Right, like, so, because I looked up the Seven Wonders. That doesn't exist.
Right, no.
But all of the gifts exist. And the fact of to be brought up in a magical community, you do have to pass initiation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but as you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm very passionate about this one. This is my favorite thing to talk about with Coven.
Right. One of them is like
there's manifestation, there's concilium, which I was thinking about how concilium, like maybe I can't. Concilium is making somebody bend to your will, and like
a witch can do that.
A witch can do that 100%. Exactly.
Maybe not. Again, this is fictionalized, and it's
it doesn't play out the way exactly. So like
Hollywood.
Queenie going bam.
That's not.
I'm not going to make that happen. But like I want you to sell me a car, and these are the terms I want. And oh look, I got a car in the terms that I want.
Well, and I know people personally who are like, you know, I really want this. This is why you should do it like this. Doesn't that sound really like...
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want? Oh, it's all about
you had said XYZ, and I think that's, like, especially if you do this along with that.
And you have... What do you have to do to manipulate people? You gotta
get in their head.
You gotta get in their head. You gotta be smart. And a witch is smart. And a witch can totally do that. So I fully believe that is a thing, just not in a fictionalized way.
Okay, so since we're speaking of the Seven Wonders, so tell me, because I'm not sure how I interpret this. So the first test, when all the girls are doing it, they have to pull the candle to themselves,
open it up?
Right?
Or do you know them all?
I don't know the names of them all.
Okay, do you
but
mind?
Like that's fine. But like, okay, so they're pulling the candle to themselves, right? And then they blow it out. But when Cordelia's doing that same thing by herself, she makes the candle light with her hand, and then she makes the flame go up in the fireplace. And part of me is like, so were they having to demonstrate their ability to pull the candle itself to them? Or were they literally drawing the flame to them, and she was saying, fuck you guys, I'm gonna draw the flame this way? Because I'm like, I always thought they were simply just moving the candlestick with their mind.
That's what I thought.
But because Cordelia makes it go in flames, and then she flames up the fireplace too, I was like, is that them having to pull the flame toward them, and they're not powerful enough to create the flames on purpose?
I think it was...
Because like Madison did it the one time with the curtains, but that's the only time we see her do that. You know what I mean?
I feel like it was a show-offy type thing. Like,
well, definitely it was a show-offy type thing, but it was... Like, I just realized, like, are they actually, like, pulling fire?
Oh, so it's called pyrokinesis.
Oh, so it is. Okay. So they are pulling the fire to them. Okay.
Do I think that's a thing? Check out our other episodes, because I believe we addressed this. The thing about...
We did in Practical Magic, because it's a thing for me. It's a thing. I think
it's a thing. I just think that, like, starting a fire on your own, it's just creating an element out of nothing. Because, like, whereas, like, we talked about stirring the spoon, I feel like that would be spiritually easier because the water's already there. But when creating a flame, you're literally creating an element out of nothing. It seems really difficult.
I've been thinking about it, and I think it's actually more a case of transforming one element to another. I think it's making the air and the wick flame up. Does that make sense? Like taking earth and air together and using them to create fire. So you're not creating fire out of nothing. You're using the power of the two elements that you already have available.
Right. Which would be creating an element, right? Out of those two.
Well, I mean, but not out of nothing. Like you're using the power from the air and the wick itself to create the flame. Does that make sense?
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think everyone can do it.
Oh, definitely not. No, absolutely no.
it's-
But I just started thinking of it differently because I did used to think of creating a flame out of nothing. And now I'm like, what if they're creating, like, what if they're making fire out of the elements that are available to make fire from? Earth and air. Just like, you know, splitting water into different elements. No, anyway, it's that is a fucking
episode in itself.
Yeah, sorry.
So
that
then-
was a fucking train of thought. Anyway, dissension going down to the underworld.
Or just,
Which,
to me,
I guess
just
that's my
astral
power.
projection.
Yeah.
Just astral projection as a whole. Vitulum vitit?
That's bringing somebody back to life, isn't it? Or the breath of life?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Which, to me,
Vitum
I
vitalis.
personally think, like, the original...
Vitalis, if you actually took Latin class. They don't have a V sound.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, but
So
nobody in pop culture ever looks it up. They never say V's like W's.
So, dissension, absolutely believe it has to do with astral projection. The whatever you just said, I do believe.
Vitum vitalis.
But again, not in the way that Hollywood would portray it. For me, I think witches would know a lot about CPR that maybe normal people wouldn't know.
Right.
So
well,
it would
like
look
the
as
breath
though,
of life in
Yes.
the olden days, or putting a specific poultice on that's going to suck out the fever enough that the person now shows signs of life again.
Right, exactly.
And yeah.
Or like, you know, they said like the kiss of life, or something.
Right,
Like a
exactly.
witch can kiss you and bring you back to life.
And they
Yeah, they're yes.
Yeah, and to me that's also very much like manipulating the elements because they're not giving mouth to mouth. She's blowing air and her intentions, and in my head I see that like she's creating more, she's causing more air to go in because like if you watch them on the show, they're not doing mouth to mouth.
Oh
for the
no,
most
I'm
part.
talking about how I think it would be possible
Blowing.
in real life. I don't think you can just breathe in.
Yeah,
somebody's mouth.
no, I'm sorry. I was just saying on the show it looks like they're actually
Well, that's how
taking
they
the
like
elements and working it.
That's how
Yeah.
they like Hollywoodize
But yeah,
it.
no, but
it's-
absolutely in
yeah,
real
no.
life we can do those things and we do
Divination.
them. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Divination.
Shit, I practice divination.
All the time. We're gonna
I
do
mean,
it tomorrow night.
they're pretty on point with that one.
Yeah.
Transmutation.
I
I don't know about that.
Transmutation. Should I sound crazy?
I'm trying to.
Because I haven't even gotten to tell you about this one offline because I totally forgot about it. But like, I was about to hit a bird yesterday when I was driving. And I was like, oh my God, move, bird, move. And then there was no bird in front of my windshield anymore and I didn't hit it and it wasn't anywhere else. It didn't have time to fly off. It was just gone. And I was like, did I just like make the bird go away?
Or
did my bird, or it was like,
Scarlet Witch and
was
just,
there like, was there a glitch in the Matrix?
Right.
I don't know what happened to that bird is my point. And then I go, can transmutation like, cause like, I don't know. Here's the problem with saying anything is possible. You have to live up to that thought process if you think anything is possible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about me because I say I believe anything is possible.
No.
And so it's like transmutation in real life. How can you make yourself zap from one place to another? I truly don't know.
It reminds me of the SpongeBob episode where he's like, "Want to see me do it again?" And he doesn't move at all. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
That is one
do
I
I
can
believe
honestly
it?
say I don't know.
Do I believe the way they like do it in the show? Mm-hmm. I don't think
know.
so. But like that experience with the bird yesterday really fucked me up because like this bird like flew right in front of my windshield while I was driving at like 65, 70 miles an hour. And I'm like, shit, I don't want to kill the bird and crack the windshield because I'm going really fast and this bird's really close and bad things are going to fucking happen. And it's not like I've been having great luck with cars lately. So I was just like, please, like, God damn it, get out of the way. And then there was no bird, but there was no bird like around me and there was no bird that I hit. There was just no bird. It was just gone. And I can't explain that. I literally can't, I have no explanation because I even like was like checking my rear views and like looking because like, did I hit the bird? Did like the air throw it over me? You know, because like you have air pockets around you, right? Like when you're moving that fast, there's air around you. And so like, did the air disrupt the bird and like throw him over my car? But then he would be behind me, either flying or on the ground. But I saw no bird at all. And so that is the only reason I go, shit, can that, like, I don't know.
Well, let's put a question mark on that one because like I said, I don't know. I don't even know where I can explain that.
Figure how I would make, other than like straight up the fucking magic. Like, I got nothing. Nothing. But I can't say I don't believe. I guess that's how I'm going to have, I can't say I don't believe. That's what I'm going to have to say to that one. So what's the next one? It's
concilium.
Concilium. That's the
controlling. We discussed that one. People. Telekinesis.
Totally, moving things with your mind. I have been practicing this since Fire
And it
Starter.
hasn't happened yet.
I have been practicing pyrokinesis and telekinesis since I saw Drew Barrymore in Firestarter as a small child. Like,
how awkward is that to like walk in on? You know what I mean? What are you doing? I'm fucking Matilda.
Yeah, that's true. Matilda encouraged that in me as well.
I think it's totally possible. I think it's something that you have to work really hard over.
Like,
I think it's something that would have to take a decade plus of learning how to manipulate. Because ultimately you'd be manipulating atoms, right? Because we're all atoms, or like so.
Well, you'd be manipulating energy, right? So, like, this is energy, right? Me using my arm to pick up this glass. So, in the same way, I'm manipulating energy to do that. And, I mean, part of me goes, like, let's be clear, part of the reason that, like I said on a previous episode, I know I sound crazy, whatever. I've been working on having my spiritual body do things that my physical body is not able to do at the time, right? Like when there are people around, or just because I'm practicing, like making my non-physical being be able to manipulate energy, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is a step in being able to perform telekinesis, and I probably sound real crazy.
No, because I'm about to sound crazy, because something that I've been working on is working with my spiritual self, but not necessarily in that sense. For me, I'm going to sound crazy because I'm going to talk about The Incredibles for a minute. You know, Violet, LOL, who can make those, like, those...
She's the invisible one, right?
No, she can make the shields. The shields.
Oh, right, okay.
Right.
Okay,
so everybody has their own little spiritual aura shield. Mm-hmm. But you can push...
Yes.
Past those and include others in them, whether they be like a protective shield or a healing shield. It's like like pushing your energy in a moving
it outside of your body and still having control over it.
Yes, so that's something I've been working on. And in the sense that I've been working on it is like if I don't think this is unethical, and tell me if you do. But like if my son can't go to sleep, I'll imagine both of us wrapped in a lavender, soothing colored aura, and as I'm rocking him and I'm just focusing on that soothing, calming energy to get him to go back to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think that's wrong.
I don't think so.
No.
Because he's my son, and it's my job to protect him and things like. Now, granted, if I was doing that with a random person, I came up and I touched their shoulder and I was like, "Go to sleep." You know what I mean? That'd be kind of weird. Yeah, that'd be different. Yeah. You know,
but like using your craft to try and get your child to sleep, like I don't think there's anything.
Well, and it's not like if he doesn't feel good or he's sick, like if I'm holding him and rocking him, I'll imagine us starting with my energy, pushing it out around him with green healing energy. And I always imagine green when I think healing, because Raphael the Archangel and his color
green is associated with healing 100%.
Right, and grounding. So then I'll imagine that. But I've noticed that as I do that, I'm pushing my energy out, which is it's difficult, you know. Like again,
it really is.
In The Incredibles, she's like, put the shield around us. She's like, I fucking can't. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
It will sound crazy when I drive because I don't like hitting animals or even bugs.
So do you try and put it around the car?
I do. I project.
And it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. My entire body will be tense, and that's why I've created a sigil, which I need to put in my new vehicle. But I've created a sigil for this purpose as well, to help me with that energy field. But I picture not just a big bubble of protection. I picture a spiky bubble because I want to discourage. I want to discourage birds and animals from coming in the direction of my car, right? Because if a bird flies in front of me, I can't risk another person's life by veering so I don't hit the bird and maybe I cause an accident. Right. But I don't want to fucking kill a bird either. So, like, in my head, I have a protective bubble around the car, but it's like a deterrent because it's got spikes.
I get what you're saying.
And so, like, I'm hoping animals see it like a big, like, mace coming down the road, you know? And I mean mace, not like the spray, but mace like the medieval torture weapon, you know, with the spikes, you know? And, like, I pictured that over the car. In a bright, stay away, like, warning
and it's
color.
not something you can continue to do all day.
Right, no, I can't.
Because it's so physically exhausting. I've gotten to the point where it's pretty okay. It'll get exhausting if I do it too long when I hold my son. But now that he's sleeping in his own room, I went, okay, let's do protection. Against protection for me as well, for like spirits, different people attacking at night. Not necessarily people, but just different things that would, so I'm like pushing that into my son's room, and I get to like the dining room, and I'm like, oh, I can't breathe. Like, not to be all dramatic, like, you know, no, again, it sounds like something from a movie, but
no,
I'm like,
I get it, because, like, I'll be white-knuckling the steering wheel, because, like, I'm trying to project with my third eye and my core when I do this.
Exactly.
And so it's like, because I'm trying to do a big thing. Yes, I'm not just, like, it's a big thing. Because it's not just, I'm not even staying still. I'm constantly moving in the car, so it's an energy field that has to be mobile. Right. You know what I mean?
We should do a whole episode.
This sounds fucking weird.
I know. I'm like, we should do a whole episode on energy fields.
We should.
Like, again, I feel like people would laugh maybe if they're like, look, this bitch thinks that she's projecting like a shield. You know what I mean?
But I don't want to kill the animals.
Right? Well, no, it's me too. Because I'm like, the only way that I can explain the sheer effort is exhausting third eye wise, but it's also exhausting physically because you're concentrating so much.
Pushing out, like in every cell in me is pushing out when I'm doing it, and I imagine for you as well. And anytime I'm moving it that far outward, it's like your whole inside is doing this all at the same time.
I would love to eventually be able to push outside my entire house, like a whole bubble around my house. Now, I don't think it's physically possible or spiritually possible to have
and when we do our episode on glamours, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Right. Because like,
I'm excited to do that. But I want to do the craft first and then do the episode on glamours.
Because of the
glamour. Yeah.
Right. You're a witch. Ha, boo. Sorry, I am all too fucking familiar.
I was just thinking about when it was the four of them in Nancy's room, not when she's with Skeet Ulrich. Skeet. Sorry, he has the stupidest name in the world. Like, Skeet, how often do you give your parents shit?
Oh my god. Is that why Kanye calls Pete Skeet then?
Oh, maybe. Skeet Ulrich? Maybe.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so Coven. So we were talking about the powers, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's how we got there, because telekinesis.
Yes, telekinesis is one of them.
Yeah.
So would that be considered a form of telekinesis? I think that you practice that, and then eventually that inner shield can grab onto something.
Right, right. Once you get enough use, like you have enough control.
I'm definitely not there yet.
Yes, I'm not, but like, I feel like my, like, trying to, do the things with my non-physical body is helping in that.
Yeah. Oh, right. It's a long road. Like,
it's like weightlifting. Like, you can't start off with a 250 pounder and not, like, decase your insides.
Like, you gotta understand, I have seen it. Like, I think I told you, like, my mentor...
I sounded weak. I said 250 pounds.
Oh, well,
whatever. I'm a woman.
My mentor did it. I think I told you, and it was absolutely... It was in my house. I know it wasn't a fucking, like, game. Like...
Yeah.
She was like, oh, you forgot to shut the door. Oh, shut the door. And she moved her hand.
Energy.
She moved her hand and that fucking door shut. And I was like, goals. Yeah. Seriously, because if I sit down, I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot my water. You know what I mean?
Like,
damn, the remote's across the room.
I'm just going to come out and put it this way, because whatever, my cards have been renewed. My pothead self will be laying in bed like, come on, you want to come to me? Just come to me.
Oh, you're gonna do that tonight, and Corey's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep, we'll be watching Goodfellas, and
you're like, no, just wait. I got so stoned one time. Back, before I was... I can't, never mind, it's so embarrassing. Like, we're sitting in front of the fire, and I was like, watch this. Nothing happened. It was super embarrassing. Thank God I was around a bunch of pagans. Because if it was normal people, they'd
They
probably...
would be judging.
They'd be like...
Pagans just laugh.
Yeah, they're like, are you serious? That's ridiculous. But then, like, actual people would be like, bro, I think she's crazy. Right? Like, what the fuck? Yes, straight up.
Like, that is the thing, right? You do that, right? I think you have your thumb down, but I'm not trying. I guess it's like this, not like
what
this.
What the fuck? She's fucking cuckoo.
You're right.
Oh, God. So I'm curious on if our viewers have also watched Coven.
Yeah.
Is it your favorite American Horror Story? Because it's a lot of people's favorite American Horror Story.
It is a lot of people's favorite.
Including myself.
Yeah.
You know?
And myself. Like, who's the baddest witch in town? Oh, Fiona hits me now. I don't know. There's something about the dichotomy between Fiona and Cordelia. Like, Fiona's so bad and Cordelia's so good.
It makes me sad because while Fiona meant it or not, Fiona was definitely abusive to her daughter. At least psychologically. Or
I mean, her daughter's hell was trying to gain her approval, so I mean, it's not like it was the greatest relationship in any which way you want to slice it.
Yeah, you know, and I don't necessarily think it was done on purpose. I think Fiona was probably one of those that popped a kid out and was like, here you go. You know, and so their struggled relationship has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Fiona's inability to accept that she's getting older. And,
right. And the loss of your power, because she does put it very well, like, when she tells Cordelia at the end, and I think maybe this is a great way to end this, because, you know, Cordelia's coming into her power. She's about to be the head witch. Fiona's
dying.
Leaving. And she says, you know, honey, you took my power the day you were born. The day you came out from between my legs, you took all of my power. And as a mother, I fucking felt that. Like, Fiona follows it up with some, like, backhanded compliment, insult kind of thing or whatever, but, like, as a mom, I felt that because, like, the second you have kids, your existence, from my lens of life, okay, so I'm not speaking for every mother, but your existence is wrapped up around their existence. It's no longer the Amber show. It's, okay, Amber's taking care of Rosalind, Amber's taking care of Giovanna, Amber's taking care of Larissa, and she's making sure that they all get to have their own show one day, you know? And it really is a loss of power in that regard, because I was a very fearless individual before I had children. Once I had children, it was, well, if I die, who's going to raise my daughters?
So, for me, it's the opposite. I feel like my son gave me power in the sense before I had such horrible anxieties. I struggled with anxieties. I struggled with confidence. And now that he's born, I know for a fact that, one, I don't have time to be anxious. And two, the things that I would normally be anxious, well, they can't fucking happen because I'm a mom now. So,
well,
you
like,
know, I
was
have
such
the
an
confidence,
independent person.
you know?
Like, so I understand what Fiona meant by that taking of power, because it's not, I didn't lose any of my power, but my priorities changed. And whereas Fiona's priorities didn't so much change, she did love Cordelia. She truly did care about her. She did want the best for her. Even that's probably why she dropped her off at the school to be raised, because that was the best upbringing for Cordelia as opposed to Fiona raising her. But, like, I understood that when she said it, and then she's just like, go ahead, take the rest of my power so that you can fully have your power, because as the Supreme, Fiona has to die for Cordelia.
I'm sorry, every time you say Supreme, I'm like,
Burrito?
Yeah, exactly. Do you do that too? No? Is it just me then? You just know me?
Before Coven, yes, that would, but because of Coven, it amused. Okay, so the first time I saw Coven, the whole, like, the Supreme thing, I thought that shit was hilarious.
I was like, I need a taco right now. Supremo taco.
I get it though, because, like, I do, but it amused me so much.
I'm so glad I'm not alone.
Like, yeah, no, I knew. That's why I said burrito. Because I think burrito Supreme from Taco Bell.
Yeah, well, I think the Supremo taco or something. So yeah, like every time I hear it, I'm like, I could go for that.
El Taco Supremo. Yeah. Good too.
Yeah, so if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe. We are 3 subscribers away from reaching our goal.
We're almost there, guys. We'll get there with your help. We appreciate it if you are watching us all the way through, like, period, point blank. Let's be clear. We do appreciate that. And if you're on any podcast platform, please feel free to like, subscribe, rate, review. All the things, they make us happy. They give us little reasons to have happy dances every time we get a 5-star review or somebody, like, takes the time to give us, like, commented feedback. Like, it means a lot to us because, like, it shows you're listening.
Yes.
Yeah. And Melissa, Heidi
Hey,
ho.
Melissa!
Check out the original beginning of this episode on Behind the Scenes and Patreon.
Right. All right. Well, thank you guys for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye.